And we should be live. Are we live? Yes, we're live. Good evening, makers. How y'all doing? Yes, we're live. I just got a notification that 3D Maker Noob is live. How you guys doing this evening? Patrick. W. Paley? MMPP. Morale Dear. D. Holly. Matt1 UK. Good evening. Avery's Tech. Hey, Otavio. Corvacon, Andreas. Wow, okay. Filling up fast. How are you guys doing this evening? We have a live build finally. It's been a while. Yes, Patrick, finally. Although, while it is a live build, I don't really expect it to be that complicated. I'm going to be cautious and say I have quite a bit of high hopes for this little printer. Well, little. Spanner Hands, good evening, man. Sean, Brian, Ben, 3D Kid, good evening. Adam, Alejandro. Maker Dad, good evening. Benz, I like stuff too. Derek, Vince, Gareth. So, on the table is a bit of an introduction. So, a company called Steel. Hold on, let me check. Oh, sorry. The company is called Shenzhen Rise Technology. And they got in touch with me and asked me if I'm willing to test out their new Raiscube A8R 3D printer. And I did a bit of research, and it's a full cast aluminium kit at about $300. And to be completely honest, I didn't really want to do any more cheap kits as much as possible unless it's something that people really request. But it's a full aluminium cast 3D printer. I opened the package, and as you can see, a lot of things are pre-assembled. You have the power supply already pre-assembled, already wired with a power switch, which is covered in the back. It has a pre-wired covered control board with a fan. So it's even the case for the screen with the case and everything all there. The extruder, oh, this got me excited. The extruder assembly has dual part cooling fans. That made me happy. So yeah, I was actually extremely excited with this. Not too many nuts and bolts to go through, and I kind of fixed them up in steps. The instruction book is actually quite decent. I might actually be able to show you guys. There, can you guys see? Yeah, you should be able to see. So, good evening, Darren, Simon, Rock, Kevin, Keith. Yay, you made it. Counterpoint, Fish Wheels, Turncarn, Adam. So yeah, this has got certifications. I mean, I don't know how legit they are, but they're there. Evening, Victor. So yeah, lots of warning signs, build instructions, tells you what the parts you need. So all in all, not bad. So okay, these are empty, but I have the actual full manual on the table. I didn't actually see this, but I do have the full manual on the table. So that won't be a problem. It's right here. It's complete, which came with the printer. Psycast, Mr. Fibble. Hey Ben, good evening. Okay, so I figured I want to start putting this together. What do you guys think? Scares, why so scared? Why so scares? Lesser and lesser videos. I still try to put out 2 videos a week. Sometimes 3 if I'm not doing a live stream. I have to remember I do have a full-time job now and I do need to travel quite a lot. So I try to pre-record as much as I can. Afternoon, speak up. Ron, Fabian. Okay, let's go. So I'm going to switch the webcam. All right, and I'm going to begin. As always, I've knolled everything into step by step. And leave this here so I can see. Sven, ouch, from hospital. Well, first of all, glad you could still join. And man, I'm really sorry. I was in Germany 2 days ago. I was in Berlin. When are you going to do your 24-hour live stream? I'll have to wait a little bit. Especially now with a full-time job. It will have to wait a little bit. So, this goes this way. Right axis. Hold on. This goes like this. Let me move a bit here so you guys can see better. Actually, let me do that. So. This goes here. Check the voltage at the PSU. Already have, actually. I've already tested the power supply. The thing is, the power supplies that come from China are usually okay. Because they do use also 220 volts there. So I don't think I've ever had to change a power supply for a printer that came directly from China. The frame is made out of cast aluminum. I don't want to over tighten just in case I mess up the threads. So, I'll get to the power supply very shortly. Hey, Carmelo. How's the printing going? Price this machine. This is about $300. Yes, it's about $300. I think there are some links. The build volume, it is 210 on the X, 210 on the Y, and 225 on the Z axis. Are there any printed parts? No, nothing at all. Everything, the only plastic thing there is, apart from obviously the fans, is the spool holder. And it's injection molded. It's not even 3D printed. So it bodes well. All aluminum, no bearings in the leading screws. Actually, funnily enough, this uses IGAS bearings. And that really surprised me. That surprised me a lot. I was not expecting IGAS bearings. Hey, Yura! Yura! I was supposed to send you an email today because the discount codes for Azure Film are not working anymore. And the video for Azul film is coming out. So you guys have been asking me to check out cheaper filaments. I've been testing Azure film. I've featured it in quite a few episodes. Really good filament. Make sure you check them out. Beats watching X Factor. Okay, so that's part one. Now is part two. So this is the power supply. Now, the power supply, yes, over here, they're exposed, they're covered with the usual, with that flap over there, but I mean, you cannot touch them. You don't have direct contact. And on the back, it has a fully covered switch. So it's relatively safe. Okay, now we need this to go here. So how are those tabs? They fit relatively okay. They're not too tight, so there's just a little bit of play, enough for you to align the screws that go in. But other than that, not too tight. So they seem to work just fine. Hey Ben, honestly speaking, I'm just waiting to lose a couple more kilos so I can fit in it. Slightly small, but it's there as my motivation until I fit in it. Now, I'm gonna go with this one. Is the frame grounded or just by its connection to the power supply? I have to check. It should be grounded though, but I will confirm. You could wear the head buddy. Agreed. I definitely could, and I should. I'm just waiting for the weather to be slightly cooler because it's still a bit hot. And the more clothes I put on myself right now, the more sweat comes out. Although strictly speaking, that just means I'm going to lose more weight. Okay, so that's done. So far, I mean, just needs a bit more sturdiness, obviously, but looking good. And let me see if I can leave that there and move this here so you guys can see. Next up is this guy. Just checking if both sides are the same. Hey, printed solid. Looks like a big Lego set. Yes, and we all love Lego sets. Speaking of Lego, I recently found out that Lego have recently released their biggest ever Lego set. And it's the Millennium Falcon. And I want it badly. So I'm going to see if my wife will get it for me. Now, these look identical to both ends. So yeah, I'm going to go for that. Actually, I'm going to go for that. The reason I'm going to go for that is because holes for the screw here look a bit recessed, and I know that goes from the back, so that should work that way. Am I getting the Prusa Mark III? Yes, I should be getting a test unit in a couple of weeks. It will be a fully assembled one to do the review. However, I'm also going to buy the kit. And obviously we'll do a live build of the Prusa Mark III. Yes, the Lego kit is massive. Live build stream of the Millennium Falcon. You know what? I wouldn't mind. I really wouldn't mind. I don't know if people would approve. Although, strictly speaking, I am making something in 3D. So it would fit in the channel. Although that would be a much longer live build. Yes, channel trailer. That's what I wanted to do. Man, I have so much I need to do. I think I might have dropped a screw somewhere. So these, no, these aren't the ones. Ah, there they are. Car. You build one from Lego and I'll print one. You know what? They'll probably take the same amount of time to do. 10 hours with 4 people to build the Millennium Falcon. This is sounding more like a challenge to me. Should I? We'll see, we'll see. So the truth is that with Amazon affiliates, you guys know I have my affiliate link in the bottom for Amazon US. Unfortunately, whatever I earn, I cannot cash because Malta is very picky and they don't cash US checks. So what I tend to do is whenever I need something for the channel, if I need a new lens, if I need some more lights, if I need a microphone or whatever, or a GoPro so I can do time lapses, I just wait until I have enough money and then I just use it as credit. So what I can do is, I can try and wait a bit, get the Millennium Falcon. Hopefully it doesn't go out of production by then. And yeah, we can build it. I have no problem doing that. Can you build it in 24 hours? Good one-day stream. That is actually not a bad idea. Shall we try it? Shall we try it? Okay, that goes there. What electronic card equips this machine? It looks like an MKS base, to be honest, from what I saw. I haven't opened it yet, but I had a quick look and it looks like an MKS base. Okay, so what I'm doing right now, let me see if I can do this so you guys can see. There you go. I'm just doing this. Carmelo, as much as I wouldn't actually, no, I wouldn't mind. Something like that I have to do on my own. That's my challenge. Yes, this needs a vote. Am I going to turn this channel into a Lego building series, like live stream builds of Legos? I would so be into that. I would so much be into that, actually. Does it have a heated bed? Yes, it does. with the hammer. Okay, so that goes there. I'm gonna change this again to here because this goes there for now. This is almost built. Next is, so I have the thingy and the thingy. Now we need the thingy. Bed. So yeah, I don't know if you guys can see. Now I'm going to be honest, I don't know if they're genuine IGUS bearings. I kind of have my doubts, but they look like them. I don't feel like taking one out. So we'll do let me see. So first we need to do these threaded rods. One, two, three. Let me lower this further down so you guys can see. There. Lego Maker Noob. You should be engraving with the IGUS logo. Yeah, but I cannot see on the outside. Good evening, Lars. Okay, so I need these. Let me sort these out. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, 3, 6, 9, 12. So it's 2, 4, 6, and 12. Perfect. So, evening, plastic blacksmith. Okay. Let's start by, okay, so that has to go in here. Now, so first we need this, then this, and then one of these. It's this kind of frame that I would like, well, I'm sure they will now, for printers to stop doing, for companies to stop doing. Printers with threaded rods at the bottom for the frame. See, now you just do what Prusa did and do 30 by 30 aluminum, even if it's 20 by 20. Okay, so do you have any torture test as a first sprint? See, the thing is, I've thought about that, but the problem is if I do a torture test, I'm kind of not giving the printer a chance from the get-go, because I kind of need to dial in the settings and find the right settings for certain PLAs that I'm using. I have to figure out the speed, but I will start testing printers on their claimed speeds. So for example, this particular printer, manufacturer claims it can print up to 300 millimeters a second. Now I know that's not possible. With a prusa, I no. With a prusa style 3D printer. But I'll test it. If it's claimed, I will test it. So far, one of the quietest printers I've had is the MetaHacker's Pulse that I have. Not that I've tried, that I have. Actually, you know what? Let me make life easier. Yes, it will, Brian. It definitely will. Spring washer, washer. And it goes in there. Yeah, exactly. Evening, Miggy Man Mike. Is there any vibration dampening on it? On this or on the Mark III? Well, no. In neither case, there aren't. Tom Shepard, actually, for the A8R, if you want a decent frame, I highly, highly, highly suggest the prusa i3 steel. I did a video on the upgrades, which I got a lot of I got a lot of bad comments on because I said it was an A8R upgrade and people told me it's not an A8R anymore. It still runs on an A8R board. Hey Derek. So I haven't tied down all the bolts yet. Because first I kind of need to know exactly what's going to happen next. So that goes there. Now, that will go there. And first, we'll put these in here so they're ready. I should buy a cordless drill. I do actually have a cordless drill, but when it comes to this kind of setup, it's kind of hard to use a cordless drill. Yeah. Okay. So those go in there. Next is this. And these. Those go in there. Next up is this. Hey Joe, what's the deal with the anacubic delta on the back? Do you like it? It's probably one of the best kits that I've had the pleasure of assembling from China. in terms of, although we'll see about this because this is so far okay. In terms of instructions, we're very clear. I've had a couple of small missing parts, nothing major, but it actually took me like 2 hours to assemble it, which really wasn't that bad at all. In terms of print quality, not too bad at all. For a printer under $200, not bad at all. I still have to test it a bit more though. Have a good evening, Ben. Hey Joe, how's the weather? Nice day today actually. It wasn't that bad. We've had lots of rain, lots and lots of rain. So that goes there. Now it's just a matter of aligning. So let me start by tightening these at the back. I need spanners, which I do have in my garage, but in the garage. So that's one. Let me do this, which should make life much easier. Okay, so that's there. Now, what I need to do is find a way to make sure that these are aligned properly. That's the thing with this kind of setup, with the threaded screws. And it's just a matter of you end up skewing the printer. But hold on. I'm just gonna measure so I can see that they're both so that's about 155 and 155. Now it's just a matter of keeping them that way. Check if the bed plate is flat. Looks flat, but I guess we'll see. Come on. Hold on. This will be much easier like this. There, so you guys can see. Much easier, I think.
Yep. Now what I want to do is just make sure that that is still 155. Slightly off. 156. 156. 156. 156. It's okay. The little monster is very loud and prints white PLA into black. I don't know, I've printed in white with the little monster. Printed quite well. Okay. I'm going to check the measurements once again. 156 and 156. Yay! Now let's see if the bed moves. Yes, it does. Now, making sure these are fine. Is my hair getting longer? I need a shave. That's what's wrong. Frame-wise, I can tell you now that it's much stronger than the A8. So that's about 215. 215 and no, slightly more. There you go. So that's 217 and this is 215. So this needs to go in a bit further. This should so let's try it again like this. Exactly 215. And this is exactly about 216 and a half. So this needs to be tightened just a bit more. Sorry guys if I'm not checking the chat for now. Just the 5 o'clock shadow. That's 216. Ooh, that's a bit too much. Oh no, wait. Lower. That's 215. There you go. Slightly tight. Okay, now this, I can tell now that it needs to go out a bit. There you go. Because I can see sort of that there is a bit of stress on the aluminum. Yep. It's made of aluminum. Yes, this is cast aluminum. It's more like it. Okay. Maybe even more. Funnily enough, probably one of the heat beds that I've come across so far, which heats up the fastest, is probably the TiVo Tornado. Okay, there we go. That's 220. So we'll do that. Seven more. Okay. Oh man, no, I didn't do it too much. This is why I hate threaded rods. Nothing too bad, but it's just a lot of play. Just to get the... See, I want to get rid of that. How the frame form? I can tell you now that aluminium is much better than than the acrylic frame of the A8. Now the A6, the Attn A6 is actually not that bad for a frame. The way it's done, it actually has a relatively decent frame. It's quite sturdy. It doesn't really shake much. But the Attn A8, the way it's done, it's... Okay, this... There. Can someone come and give me a hand? There. That makes life easier. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay. So that goes there. Decent. This will stop the bed from eating living after you get with an 8. And that's much better. Okay, now we need the belt. So this goes there. Okay. That goes there, and then it goes back out. Okay, the other way around. So that's one. Okay, I can actually turn this around, so once again, you guys can see what I'm doing. I need cable ties. So that's one. That goes there. Is there a belt tensioner? No, unfortunately not. There isn't, which is a shame, because having a belt tensioner on printers would really help. However, the way the bed is done, in order to tie the belt, it's quite easy actually. So doesn't require too much work. Come on. And that I spoke too soon. I let it go prematurely. Okay. Almost there. Yay. Done. Okay, this goes there. And that's that. We're almost done. Okay, now heat bed. Now, heat bed. These are at least 16 gauge wires. Probably thicker. They're actually very, very, very thick wires. So that's good. This will go here. It looks like it's a good $300 printer, but as we know, proof is in the pudding, so I guess we'll see. Now, these go here. So what I'm doing right now is simply putting M3 nuts onto the screws so I can tighten the bolts to the heat bed. Proof is in the benchy. Exactly, Victor. And that's what we're going to print first, obviously. I have to print a benchy first. Let me see if I have a pair of pliers anywhere. Yes, I do. And these. Now, while the build plate has tape on it, they actually do send you a build tack type sticker to attach to it, which I can obviously put on, but for now, just to test it out, we'll leave it as is, and then we'll see. I also like the fact that, so this is the back of the wire, the back of the build plate, and this is the front. So the soldering is done on the front, and it goes all the way to the back, and it's secured by 3 rolls of tape. Okay, just tape, fair enough. But at least when it moves, there's no strain on the connection, which is always good. I actually would like to find someone that can design a Maltese Lutzu in multicolor. Oh, that would be awesome. You do not add bearings to the lead screw. Strictly speaking, no, you shouldn't, because it should have movement. That's what these are for. That's why you put these here. So you don't put bearings on the lead screw, because you're restricting them, which is in fact, on the Trong CX3S, they have bearings. Googling Lutzu. Does the discount code work for Amazon US? It should. Have a look. If not, I'll get in touch with Raiscube and I'll see if I can get some codes. Okay, next up is connect 2 pieces of 350mm threaded rods to flexible couple on Z steppers. Ah, okay, these two. And these two. Also, so this is probably the first time I've ever seen in a manual an illustration of how you properly set up the couplers of stepper motors. Okay, so this is the coupler, this is the rod of the stepper motor, and these are the threaded rods. And it tells you very clearly that you have to have space in between. You don't just shove them all the way in, so it can flex. Okay, let's see. I need to fix this up a bit. There you go. It's one. And that's two. Okay, so I'll make sure check may be back in about a day or two. However, on the Amazon US store, it should have, or it should already be discounted. On the eBay US store, sorry. Okay. Keith is in charge of the chat. Now, while I understand, trust me, not on this matter, but on many other matters. Some people might get on your nerves. It's just, you know, it's easier to explain to someone rather than just snapping at them. Trust me, I know. And sometimes if that doesn't work, then just, it's much easier to move on. Hey, Chris is in the house. Okay. So next up is, so we did the thing in the thing, and we put the thing in the thing, and now it's turn for the thing in the thing. Hold on. Okay. Through the module and 15 rods. Okay, so now that that's there, I'm going to put this there for now. It's time for the extruder assembly. Ow. Rods. At least on the R2. Okay. So now we need these two pieces right here. This is awesome. Okay. These are the, well, Z-axis and X-axis, well, extruder gantry assembly. These are all aluminum. These are aluminum blocks. They're threaded inside with bearings, with IGAS bearings already in. This is wicked. Okay. And they have, there should be more of these. 1, 2. Those are there. Okay. Yep. All right. So on one side, those stop there. Like you cannot push them in any further. On the other side, they stop as well, but you can actually tighten them by putting these things in. You have a spacer and also these things. I really, really hope the printing quality of this printer does not let me down, because so far I am really impressed. For a Chinese kit, this is impressive. This is already all done with cable management. Awesome. Okay, so these two go in here. That's one. And that's two. Are they heavy? These are relatively heavy, actually, I have to say. Which is why I very much doubt. I know it can, but I'm just saying I very much doubt that it could go to 300 millimeters a second. That's ridiculously fast. Next up is this. This is, okay, so even the, this is so cool. Even the limit switch, this is where the limit switch goes. Oh, sorry. The calibration for the limit switch. It's just awesome. Okay. This goes like this or like this. Like that. That's one. That's two. 3 and 4. Now, let me just arrange this. Come on. Hold on. Oh, I can just do this. Okay. There you go. That makes my life easier. Stop. Stop. Okay. These need to go in further. These are way out. Okay. Ooh, I think I got the wrong ones. Yes, I did get the wrong ones. Yes, these are up here. I'm saying they're actually quite long. Okay. Let's go in there. That goes here. Okay. Now we're talking. Now. Okay. Okay. See, all right, so this is slightly inwards too much. So that, there. Come on. Okay. Okay, I'll get to that shortly. Southern New Jersey. Hey. Aluminum structure. Yes, Chuffy Designs. Okay, exactly. Flex couplers at work. Except for that, that's not a flex coupler. Okay. So, for now, those stay there until I do. Okay, so that's done, that's done. Now we'll put these up here. And these in here. Ooh, that feels tight. That feels ridiculously tight. Okay. These rods going through the bearings, they seem a bit too tight. Very tight, actually. And this is going to create an issue. I'm quite sure of it. Yep. Definitely. Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. When you use IGAS bearings, you don't use any lubrication on the rods. Is that correct? Now, let me check something. Wait, what? Okay, that would go there. That would go there. And that would go there. Ah, okay, so this goes here. No lube. WD-40. WD-40. I might actually have some WD-40. No, I don't. I thought I did, but I don't. Did I? Okay, so I don't have WD-40 here. And this is way too... okay. So. Ooh, okay. I think that was it. Whoever mentioned the grub screws? Let me see. Still slightly tight. Way too tight. Better, but still too tight. This is okay on this side. This is not. Hold on. Let me check something. This is much better. Okay. Okay, so now okay. Let me just do this first so I can sort this out. So that needs to be there. This needs to be here. Okay. This needs to be here. Let me do these first. Okay, let me just put these on. And that one goes there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So those go there. These get tightened. I love the fact that there is no wiring to be done. Something that should be used on 3D printers. That goes there. Now I just need to align the couplers just to make sure they're okay. Okay, so that goes there. So now this is slightly tight. So what I'm going to do, hold on. There, oops, sorry for the shaking. Okay, I'm just going to undo this a little bit for now. I want to check exactly, because this is extremely tight on this side. It shouldn't be the case. I'm going to take this off again. Sorry guys for making you wait. Just for future reference, never use WD-40 on a 3D printer. It's just not what it's made for. And it's no lube. 100 messages. No. I've learned. So I've learned that WD-40 can be used for many things. As a lube, not one of them. So that's the problem I'm having here. Okay, I can actually see what the issue is. So this, let me see if I can show you guys. So that, whoa. As you can see over here, it goes inwards more than on this side. And that's causing the, there you go. As a matter of fact, if I leave it straight, it's kind of slanting a little bit. So I'm just going to have to improvise a little bit for now. I'm going to try at least. Let me just take this off and see if I can fix it up. That is such a shame. Still not straight. Hold on. Let me do this so you guys can see what I'm doing. It's a shame because on this side, it's perfect. On this side, however, not so much. So I'm just going to see maybe, just maybe there's some kind of something just not leaving it straight. This is why we do live builds. Okay, so let me see exactly here. See, now it's okay. Or now it looks okay. Let me just say that. Let me just see if there's anything to clean in there. It's this thing itself. Slightly unlevel. So what I'm going to do is try to find the best way or the best orientation, which kind of looks like that. We'll see how that goes. Let me see how this treats it. Worst case scenario, I'm quite sure I have a few extra ones of these. let me try it like that for now. I just want to see how it handles itself. Exactly, not all Chinese printers. I mean, strictly speaking, pretty much most of anything these days comes out of China. Not all bad. Okay, this is looking much better. So let's see how we go with this. Okay. Okay. Now, that goes there. It still wants to pop this out of its place. Yeah, exactly, because now it's the other way around. Oh. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply undo that a little bit and let it kind of float freely for now. Hopefully gravity will help. That should help a lot. All I need to do is replace that and we should be fine. Okay, that's how it's going to stay for now. This was there, and that goes there. And the picture will go. So, no, I'm a very patient person by nature. I like these things as much as they frustrate a lot of people. They actually calm me down. It's relaxing. I admit that never in my life I thought I'd be doing this while talking to myself, as I am now. Okay, that's looking a bit better. But this will definitely need to be... fixed. So, because I can see even this one, it's not exactly flat. So I will have to sort it out. For now, that will be it. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do, because I'll eventually forget, sometimes, is I'm going to measure. This is 198. This is 197. 198. Okay, those are level. Next, we have control module. Hold on. So you guys can see. I apologize if I keep forgetting that I can just do this. This thing goes here. That goes there. Then we have spool holder. 4 more. I should have done this before I put this thing on. Okay, so this is going to be much quicker if I simply undo this. There. And just, so this is going to touch like that. So this needs to go like this. Much easier, much quicker. Yeah, I mean, in terms of quality, it's actually not that bad. I mean, once again, proof is in the pudding. We'll see what the print quality is like. As a kit, bar the little issue we just had. Okay. Apart from that, the 2 nuts, I guess you can call them. The lead screw nuts. Not too bad. We'll see. This might be one of those cases where possibly 3D printing the X carriage, the holders on the side, might not be such a bad idea. But we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. How long have we been doing this? We've been doing this for about an hour and 15 minutes, and we're almost done. Oh, hey, Kevin. Yes, all the silver is actually aluminum or aluminium, depending where you're from. In Malta, it's aluminium. Only the Maltese will get it. What are my first thoughts so far? As a kit, decent. But that's as far as I know. Now, we need to set up limit switch. Now, the limit switch will go, this will go here. This should go here. Now, okay, because that will hit that. So this needs to move a bit here. There. Right about. So I'm just setting the place where the limit switch needs to be, which is about there. Oopsie. That goes there. Even that is injection molded plastic. So I'm liking this. Next up, It's yeah, I do need something here. That is this. So this goes from top. Let me turn this around. True. Okay. Now, so we'll start off with this end. You got 10k subscribers. I was not too far. Now you have 50% more. Thanks, Corvo. Yeah, the channel is growing nicely. Granted, I wish I could be doing much more on the channel, but unfortunately, it's not that easy. Having now a full-time job which requires me to travel, having a family, having a daughter, it's not easy, but it's still fun. It's still my escape, my everyday escape to be in here. Ooh, that is close. I just did a boo-boo. Hold on. Wonder if I can do it this way. Oh, I can do it that way. Yeah, that works too. You know what, Victor? I found out something today. I have more subscribers than Ira Losko. For those of you who don't know, Ira Losko is she's like Malta's sweetheart. You know, she's one of our most popular singers. She's been to like the Eurovision for God knows how long. She had international hits. But I still have more subscribers than her. And that was quite an achievement. Okay, so that goes there. This goes in here. A bit more, maybe. Yep, like that. Imagine if she would do the build. She doesn't, you know what? I'm sure if she did live streams, she'd get a lot of subscribers very quickly. Okay. That's still tight. And there. Okay. That goes there. Next is, well, I guess wiring. This is so not straight. Okay, yeah. We're at the wiring stage, I guess. So we're gonna do these two things up here. This is one. And then two. Okay, so I'm just gonna check which is 1 and 2. Okay, so that is 1 on the right and 2 on the left. So this is Y, 1 on the right and 2 on the left. And we said, oh God. This is 1. 1 on the right. And 2 on the left. Now, okay, rest of the wiring. We have, this is the extruder loom, which can't really be any easier than this, I guess. I'll need to see where I'm going to put this. Actually, you know what? Let me just pass it. I'm going to pass it from the top. Because this seems okay. Yep. Yeah, that should do. That should give it more than enough slack. Next up, we have this is Z-axis stepper. Okay, so these are Z-axis, so one goes here. Or at least one hopefully goes here. Come on. Okay. That's one. Second one to the other side. Okay, that goes there. Next, this is the Z-axis and stuff. Just goes in there. Right. Yes, it is. This is the that's the right. Okay, that's the x-axis. Y-axis comes from back here. Just run it on the button. Ooh. That's the y-axis. I'll get the power out of the way. We have, ooh, heat bed wires. Relatively long. Well done. Come on. There you go. This is the motherboard power cord. So that goes into the power supply. These are for this. These are all based off the same design, so they all look like vibrations of each other from time to time. Yep, pretty much. It's just, see now, as of next year, I can tell you now that 3D printer companies, especially from China, their prices will start going up as of next year. Because people will simply want, this is the x-axis, people will simply want more functionality. And now that Prusa have pretty much outdone themselves in terms of functionality, with the Mark III, people will start looking for those kind of features in 3D printers. And you can still add those to a cheaper printer, but the price will eventually rise. So this is the y-axis. Which one did I attach to? This is the x-axis, Joe. So now, as of next year, I can tell you now that most 3D printer, like Chinese 3D printer companies, will lose the lead screw, the threaded screws for the bottom. This is the X. That's the Y. This is thermistor for the heat bed. This is the power cord that goes all the way to the other side. Pickering G-code. Portuguese 3DMF fan club. Awesome. I would love to have a Maltese one. So, plus is red, negative is black. They went through quite an extent to preparing everything and all the wires. So it would have been nice to have all the wires crimped already. That go into the power supply and the from the electricity. It just, that's something definitely I would suggest. That's something I definitely will do as soon as I'm ready for the review, or just before that. So strictly speaking, that is it. Okay, so something here is hitting. Need to make sure it doesn't. That's more like it. Okay. So, shall we, ladies and gents? As always, if the screen goes black, hopefully I'll be back in a few minutes. It didn't. Da, da, da. Come on. Come on. There you go.
Oh, yes. Spill hole there. Almost. Ooh, it clips on. Nice. Okay, I need to take it back off. And I'm going to use the filament that came with it. Hey, Piotr. Dzień dobry. Jak się masz? Okay, so I'll put this there for now. Next, let's see homing. Let's see if it works. Forgot to do. Yep. I'll take that back. So, as it was going down, I kind of remembered I didn't set any Z limit switches. So this should go here. Thankfully, it's nothing major. At least I know it works. Oh, that was funny. Spoke too soon. So that is 235, 237, and 23. Whoa. Seriously? So 2, 3, 337. And this is 237. Okay, so I'm gonna try it once again. I am wearing Practical Printing shirt. Chris from Practical Printing. He sent me this awesome shirt. You know, even if I had tried to calibrate it, it wouldn't have been as perfect. Okay, so 1 hour and 30 minutes. That's actually not bad. So I'm just gonna grab a piece of paper very quickly, just to calibrate the Z offset. And then, as always, I'll eye it as it's going. Let me just move it a bit so I can go. So prepare. No vaccines. These beeps annoy me. This is one of the things that I really don't like. Okay, so it kind of works with a bit of a delay. So let me see if I can do. So I'm guessing this is not a 32-bit board. Yes, Practical Printing is an awesome channel. Make sure you go check them out. There you go. You know what? Hold on.
it's much easier to disable steppers. I know you guys might shout at me, but it's just easier for me. Now, okay. Okay, so let's do home. Let me get the SD card. That goes there. Moves it up. That's actually, noise-wise, it's not that bad. No, like preheat. Okay, something interesting. So here, as you can see, you have preheat PLA, preheat end, and preheat bed. Now, usually, you find, like for the example, the A8R has preheat PLA or preheat bed. Like, why would you just want to preheat the bed? You just want to preheat the nozzle. But yeah. So we're preheating the nozzle, so we can throw in some filament and we can start printing a benchy. Or you're pressing down on the paper as you move it. As just to see if it's gonna grind into the tape, that's all. What's hanging out from the fan? Nothing. So, almost there. It's already there. Don't ever do that. Print from SD. So we try. So what I did was, I just used my A8R profile, and I sliced the benchy. Technology Nerd 18. Yes, Makers Muse did in fact try a Raiscube, but it wasn't this one. So, fingers crossed. The one he had gotten was like an A8 kind of thing, clone. You can say clone of a clone, and most of his parts were broken. So yeah. Do I have a printer that uses 2.85? Yes, it's right behind me. It's the BCN 3D Sigma. No, not a Bowden. It's a direct drive. I usually print at 50 millimeters a second. The first print, I always print at 50. I'm just doing a bit of on-the-fly adjustment. Just something I actually enjoy doing.
Yeah, that works.
Might maybe just a bit more. Yeah, that works for now. So, a bit noisy.
What was that?
That was weird.
All right, okay, so I'm gonna stop the print. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the the layer height just kind of went up about a centimeter. So let me just do this.
For now.
And I'm going to throw in one of the pre-sliced G-codes. Okay. Hold on. If the steps are not set, actually let me check. I can check if the steps are set. So, move axes, move Z. Let's see, 1 millimeter. So that seems a bit too high. So let me see. It's about 2 millimeters. Let me see. Hold on. Let me just transfer a file very, very quickly. And, ooh, I forgot to put that on mute. So, STL files. Easy test. Easy test sounds good. So, let's try it again. Let me see if it's, because it might need Z height calibration. It shouldn't, but we'll see. What is the loudest printer I have? Not entirely sure, to be honest. I have to think about it. The Collider Compact was relatively noisy. And the Cubic i3 Mega is fairly quiet. The Prusa Mark II, the i3 Mark II, can be quite noisy if you're printing in multicolor and in high-powered mode. But other than that, oh yes, oh, okay, the Epson inkjet. I'd say the CR10, but it's not the printer that's actually noisy, it's the fans they use inside the control box. It's ridiculous. The toy box, relatively noisy. Nothing ridiculous, but it is relatively noisy. So this definitely needs PID tuning because it was set to
200 degrees, but it shot up all the way to 207. So it definitely needs PID tuning. So let's see exactly how this easy test print comes. This is a pre-sliced G-code. That was freaky. Thought something happened there. That is so weird. Yes. I think that is so weird. Okay. So, I need to most likely calibrate the Z height, which is a huge shame. Let me just check something quickly here. That's the leveling. That is weird. Very disappointing. Okay, I need to hold on. It's the current of the stepper motors. How can I reduce the current of the stepper motors? Let me just check. First things first. I'm just gonna see if it is calibrated. If I move it up 5 millimeters, will it actually move up 5 millimeters? Now, in order to do so, it's a very simple process. That is, I'm going to put a piece of tape there. Okay, right with the edge of that, and I'm going to move the Z-axis. No, I don't want to home. Okay, so that goes out and we do it again. Hold on. Prepare. Move axes. Move Z. Okay. So that is level. I'm going to move it up. And that should be 10 millimeters. I'm just going to check. Okay, so that's fine. So if you tell it to move 10 millimeters up, one rotation of the lead screw. Hold on. position. X, Y, Z. Okay, so X and Y steps per millimeter are 80, Z steps per millimeter are 400. I don't know, that sounds like a lot to me. Okay, that's disappointing. So, let me see, just in case if there's anything written here, which there isn't. Looks like I joined this thing's go interesting. Yes, you did, Ian. High current would just make the motors overheat, possibly, or put extra power. But if you're telling the motor to move 400 steps, it shouldn't move 800, it should move 400. That is really interesting. Let me try. Let me try something else. Printing something else. I don't know. I'm curious now. Those are fine. Those are fine. Servers are fine. "200 steps. Could it be loose lead screw brushing on the other Z lead screw? Perhaps just a bit of..." That's not a bit of play. They're literally, it should be going up 0.2 of a millimeter. And instead it's just moving up a lot. a lot. Gareth, that's what I thought as well, because when I tried my Benchy, that's what it did. But then I tried pre-sliced Benchy and pre-sliced G-code, and that's what it did. So now I'm trying an even different pre-sliced G-code. I'm trying it like that. Actually, you know what I can do? So, bear with me here. I want to see if it does it with every layer or just the first layer. Actually, hold on. Stop print. Control. Let me home it first. Even the movement looks fine. So let me do this. Let me reprint the pre-sliced G-code. I want to see if it moves that far up with every layer or just does it for the first layer. Huib, that's what I did. I measured the distance I moved it up 10 millimeters and it moved up 10 millimeters. So that is not the issue. So most likely could be a G-code issue. I did, I moved it and I measured. You saw me, rewind. I used tape. which is why you first measure if it's moving. If you ask it to move 10 millimeters, does it move 10 millimeters? So I did it and it did. So that's fine. Now I've also noticed that it's not. This is so weird. So now I've noticed that. Ah, there it is. Okay, because it wasn't extruding. No, man. Where is it? I actually, hold on. Hold on, I'm gonna stop the print for a minute because now it's not doing it anymore. So I'm just gonna check something very quickly because now this is happening. Okay, let me try it again. I did slice a benchy myself. Let me try the benchy again. He's going through his baby diseases first. Yep, it needs vaccination. Patience, patience, ladies and gents. Well done. There. No. There. It's about $299 in the US. I need some water. See, this is something very wrong is happening here. This is going to sound weird, but it looks like it picked off where the other benchy stopped, and that is really weird. Nah, this is... Okay. So this is what just happened. So for people to understand that this is not a stepper, this is, it has to do with possibly G code or that memory card. So it didn't do the first layer. Instead, it went to about the fourth layer where it covers the letters at the bottom of the top of the benchy. And then it went on a few more layers up and it started doing
or the second layer was the part of the benchy where you have that square thing already. So yeah, that's weird. So let's do this. Let me do this. Hold on. Give it a second. There is so much retraction. There is 1 millimeter of retraction. 1 millimeter of retraction is not a lot of retraction. So let me do the easy test once again. Did you try turning it off and on again? Yes, I did. Hey, Michał. It does look like SD card error. So possibly one of the best things I can do is simply grab an SD card. Hold on, hold on, hold on. And do this. Hold on. No, 3D benching. Hey, Karsten, good evening. Okay. So let me see how this goes. I am a very patient person. I take time. This is why I come in here in this office and I have a plan for a day to do 4 or 5 different things. And I end up only doing one thing because I spend all day just trying to fix something. And I take my time. I want to see what's happening and everything. Nah, this is just... See, like, why is it doing that now? Well, at least it's doing better than before. I have no idea what that was. I have no idea what this printer is doing. I honestly have no idea what this printer is doing. This is just wrong on so many levels. It's just wrong. I have no idea what this printer is doing. I'm going to try a different SD card. I'm going to home it just in case. But I'm starting to think those are plugged in fine. Okay, let me try this. I'm thinking the firmware is corrupt, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. Because steps per millimeter are fine. It just does weird things. So if the cables were inverted, then it simply wouldn't work. The screen wouldn't come on.
Let me see what happens now, just for my peace of mind, because maybe, just maybe, it's the SD card. Maybe, I don't know. Ooh. Hold on. Oopsie. Okay, now we're talking. So, this is the moment of truth. Let's see what happens now. Let me see what happens now. Come on, moment of truth. Yay! Was a corrupt SD card. It was a corrupt SD card. Fortunately, I didn't do the best first layer. But hey, it's printing. SD card. There always has to be something. What's the SD card? Kingston. Yeah, my banana Kingston. So there, I'm happy now. No, let me tell you why it's a corrupt SD card, because I've transferred two different files which I sliced myself on this SD card and both did the same thing. See, but that is why high quality Kingston. Dara Bill, happy birthday. Looks like the bow is curling. No, it hasn't. Not yet. This is at 200 microns. So the first, I was still kind of playing around with the first layer, so the very bottom layer is not going to be the best. It's everything else that matters. So yeah. But yay, it's printing. Let me see, because I'm guessing you guys don't want to see that. You guys want to see that, possibly. Let me see if I can fix this up a bit. How long will it take to finish? About an hour. No, I'm not printing on a cold bed. It's 45 degrees. It needs PID tuning because it went up to 47 degrees. The hot end fluctuates a little bit. It definitely needs PID tuning. Thankfully, this is Marlin, which means you can do auto tune. And it's printing at 50 millimeters a second. I'm quite sure that this is not... Okay, the reason why I know this is not a genuine Kingston SD card is, first of all, it was sealed without any documentation inside. Secondly, it already had Raiscube documents on it, like the instructions and all that, which is probably why that the manual which was on it wasn't complete. Apart from that, it's supposed to have this sort of like a hologram thing on it, but it's just silver. Joe, what is my favorite? What is your favorite slicer? I'd have to say that Simplified 3D. I know it costs money. I know that I shouldn't do a lot of tutorials on it because not everyone can afford it, but it's by far my most favorite slicer. 2 cooling fans? Yes. Yes. I believe every printer needs 2 cooling fans. Acceleration, I don't know, I haven't been in the settings yet. Exactly, Mr. Fiddle. Was it easy to build? Yes, actually, it was relatively easy to build. The only issue was the screws, the lead screws, kind of not aligned properly, but nothing major. Your opinion, Joe, please. Do you think 2-part cooling fans are too much? I see it as too much weight. Actually, in terms of weight, those weigh nothing. A part cooling fan will weigh what? Maybe 5 grams? The extruder assembly weighs probably around 300 grams. That's what weighs. You can have 4-part cooling fans and they still wouldn't put that any stress on the extruder assembly or the hot end assembly. I mean, there are, as the chubby engineer is saying, I did sort of like an experiment for part cooling fans, like a testing, a shootout. I really like the idea of 2 cooling fans from either end, because you have sort of like perfect... Sorry, I'm just looking at the quality of the print just to see. I'd like to... It seems like it's under extruding just a little bit. Nothing major, but it could be the filament as well. So let me see if I can. Wow, okay. So the reason why it's under extruding a little bit, because even though this is 1.75 millimeter filament, its actual diameter ranges from 1.72, 1.73, 1.69. So it's not the best filament. It's the filament sort of that came with it. Very inconsistent. Linus Lindberg, Shena Shena. I'm from Malta in Europe. Well, you guys know where Malta is. You come here for the summer. It's the filament that came with it. Funnily enough, the cooling, while it has 2 fans, it doesn't seem like it's making too much of an effect because it's curling on the bow. is interesting.
More testing will be done. Maker Gear printers. No, I have never, and I doubt I'll have one. Well, you never know. I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, but you told me it's curling on the first layer, man. I mean, come on. It started curling now. Possibly the last 2 layers. It's like 3 millimeters off. Agreed, Patrick. Radial friends are definitely by far the best. This seems very much like an A8R extruder assembly, so I can possibly easily use just a blower fan. The fans are at 100%, yes. No, they're not, apparently. Okay, so I need to apologize. Hold on, let me just check something. Oh no, they were at 60%, that's why. Oh. Hey, Jeffrey. It took about an hour and a half, I think, to assemble. If it wasn't for the fact that it's going to get late, I'd stop the sprint and start another one. But for now, it's going to continue. So I set the fan at 100% now because it was at 60. I'd say it's a standard noise. Hold on. We can test. It's about 53 decibels. Peak at about 53 decibels from a meter away. You know what, I'm going to adjust the flow just a little bit. Just to compensate for the slightly smaller filament. I know, Asada Dada, I know you hate benchies. I know a lot of people hate benchies, but there is a reason why I use benchies. First of all, it's recognizable. Second of all, at some point, everyone has printed a benchy, so you can compare. So if I show you a review with a benchy and you have a printer with a benchy, then you can see a comparison. You can say mine prints better than that. Hey Joe, have you had extruder skipping on your A8? As of late, I've had that a lot of times, but even when a new and clean nozzle assembly. Not really, but don't forget that I've changed now to an E3D hot end. Can you PLA print? Can you cool PLA prints too much? Yes, you can. If, well, strictly speaking, you might cool them too much that you don't have enough layer adhesion.
Hey, Mark. No, it's still it's still running on the A8R board for now, but it won't be for very long because I'm gonna put a duet Wi-Fi on it, just for the fun of it. So how is this looking here? There you go. Is this Chinese brand? Yes. Bondtech extruders are awesome. They're absolutely awesome. I love how I've had 2 dislikes on tonight's live stream, and both of those dislikes happened before the live stream started. Also, thank you very much for the likes, guys. They don't really make much difference to anything except for the fact that I can see whether or not people are enjoying the content I'm producing. Hey, Angus! Yes, it is the better version of the crappy one you had. This one is a cast aluminum, man. How's it going? How you feeling, man? I heard you were a bit sick. This likes were for the wait time. Live in 30 minutes for Angus. All right. Well, I won't be more than 30 minutes. I need to go to sleep at 1. Or at least go lie down in bed and possibly say hi to Angus on his stream. I haven't configured it yet, to be honest. Your viewers in 30 minutes. You know what? Actually, in 30 minutes, I'm going to send all of my viewers to Angus. And all of you who are watching, please ask this question to Angus in chat. What's the best printer under $200? And then ask him, what's better, A8 A6 or A8 A8? How did the build go through? Not bad, actually. It took me about an hour and a half, I think. Most of it was pre-assembled. Wiring was all done, just clip-ons. So yeah, it wasn't actually that bad at all. I had a bit of an issue with a corrupt SD card, but other than that... USD. Eddie Moser, man, thank you very much, buddy. It always has to be you, man. Thank you so much. Hey, bud, sorry I missed most of the stream. Trust me, don't worry, you didn't miss much. Well, I did mess up a bit. By the way, congrats on the new gig. Thanks, man, I appreciate it. So at least this is looking a bit better. I can see that the fan speed definitely helped. I can answer questions only on possibly some polymaker filaments, not polybox. Did I have to wire the mains PSU? No, actually. It came with pre-wired with a fuse switch. No, everything was pretty much done. All I had to wire was connect the heat bed to some China connectors. Everything else was plugged in, and run the 12 volt wire from the main board to the power supply. In terms of wiring, that was it. What do you think about the seated printers? I've never tried one. Angus can probably answer that because he's had one, or he has one. Is there a MOSFET on the Raiscube? No. If there is, it's probably integrated. No, definitely not. It's not an external MOSFET, for sure. Probably fused, but I doubt it. I'd like to try a CETUS actually, to be honest. I know at the moment, not at the moment. I think I have more printers than I can possibly handle right now. But yeah, maybe one day. Where is the tornado review? It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I'd have a FET on the board instead of something underrated requiring a hacky external one. I would completely agree to that, actually. But yeah, it's the way it is. People can stop buying Chinese printers until they get much better. Spark 1. Oh yeah, man, that thing. The Spark 1 looks amazing, man. When you install the Wi-Fi on your A8, would you print a Benchy? I'll do the same on my modified A6, and we'll see what's the best printer under 200. I can assure you, Mariusz, that the printer that will get the Wi-Fi is not under $200 anymore. It might have been when it was an ANET A8, but I think I've already spent about 400 on it because now it has stepper motors with integrated lead screws on. The Do It Wi-Fi, a couple of hundreds. E3D, about another $50. I'm gonna put 0.9 degrees stepper motors in it. So no, you have the steel, the prusa steel, Mark 42 bed. So no, it's definitely not on 200 anymore. Where are the Mark III units that Prusa should send you guys? Hopefully in a few weeks. Joe, how about printer bought printers? To be honest, I know they had a sale for the printer bought simple, and if it's still there in a few days, I might grab one. Just shows renders. Yeah. How to get usable print-in-place objects out of Cura. Try to make robots. Head turns, elbows are clattered a bit, but legs plus shoulders are fused solid, no gaps. You might want to adjust the tolerances. That's something possibly Angus can tell you. Because I am really not that good in Cura. I'm just starting out in Cura. I did the mistake of sort of sticking with Simplify 3D from the get-go, and that was it. Maker's Muse, are you impressed by the Ono's display? Am I the only one having issues with Filamentum PLA? What kind of issues? I actually use Filamentum quite a lot, so it all depends what issues you have. Slicer Prusa Edition is pretty much perfected for Prusa, for the Mark II. It just works beautifully. Is the frame on this one better than the one you put on your A8R? To be completely honest, no, it's not. While this is cast aluminum and it's still solid, it still has the threaded rods to do the Y-axis, whereas the Prusa i3 steel, it's solid metal, it's sheet metal, it's thick, it's heavy, it's robust, and it's solid. There's no threaded rods, it's just nuts and bolts, and it works. Mark, I did, but I had to find a full-time job to accommodate my bank because they wouldn't give me the loan to get a new house. Short to ground, that would be awesome. I have yet to try an SLA printer. I have backed the Bean 3D printer on Kickstarter. And the only reason why I backed it is because the company is already established. They already do SLA printers in large format. And they're just starting out on desktop format. Octoprint. Actually, also, I backed this. You guys can see it there. This. Hold on. The Waggle. This actually arrived this week. This was on Kickstarter. When you don't need them, yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, once they give you the loan, then you can do whatever you want as long as you repay them. So, this is the Waggle. This was on Kickstarter. This is like, it's like an Octoprint kind of thing, but it's all integrated. So you just plug this in to the electricity outlet. You have the camera with all the electronics inside, and then you just plug it into the printer, and you have full slicing control. You have remote monitoring from the cloud, so you don't have to be on the same network. So yeah, I'll be reviewing this as soon as I open it and try it. It was like, I think it was like $50 or $60, so it wasn't that bad. If you're sold ready, you might as well be homeless in their eyes. Very, very true. Yes, I am, Kevin. Definitely going to do a review. I think it's an interesting idea. I mean, it's definitely something I would want with every printer, especially now that with me being away quite a lot. My wife has been having lessons from me on how to remove prints, how to start new prints, how to change filament, clean the bed, apply glue. So I can sort of pre-slice G-codes for her, and then she'll just do one after the other. Is the overhang better after bumping those fans? It is perfect. Much, much better. It didn't even occur to me to check the fans in the beginning. My mom saved many a print when I was still home. It's funny because I'll see if I know I'm going to spend 4 or 5 days in Germany at work, then I know that I can calculate roughly about 40 to 50 printing hours on each of the printers I'm doing. So I'll make sure that I try to minimize her work, that she doesn't have to change a spool if possible. So I'll do many prints with the same color on the same printer, like if I'll do a big print. So, and she'll monitor them. And she'll send me photos once in a while, like, this okay? I think this is not doing right. I think there's a layer missing in this print. Oh man. Okay, so it is 1:45. 11, 12. That's almost 3 hours, which is relatively okay. This definitely needs some work in terms of slicing. I think the extruder needs calibration. I'll probably try it out. I'll try the same print with a different filament. Slow it down, see how it goes. But I can tell you now, this thing will not print at 300 millimeters a second. I'm quite sure of it. Okay. All right, Angus, thank you very much for coming by, man. I'll probably pop by your chat. I'm about to wrap this up now anyway, because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning here. And I would like to wake up a bit early tomorrow morning and go for a ride, because my motorcycle has been finally fixed and returned to me. So tomorrow I'm meeting up with my buddies and we're gonna go for a nice relaxed ride, have a coffee in the morning and some pastizzi. I don't need to teach my daughter. She already knows. The first time I wanted to show my wife like how she changes filaments. My daughter came running. She's like, "Look, mommy, let me show you." It was hilarious, and I would have loved to record it. All right, guys. So all in all, my thoughts on this printer so far. As a kit, it's actually quite good. I have to say that I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the way it's built. It's solid. It's full aluminum. No 3D printed parts. I love the pre-wired electronics. It makes life so much easier. Not many screws and parts to attach. It took me 1 hour and 20 minutes or 1 hour and 30 minutes. So yeah, the corrupt SD card is a shame. Hold on. So these things up here, bit of a shame that they're not aligned properly, but I think it's easily fixed. But other than that, I mean, it's $300. It's actually not bad. If I can get it to print right after dialing in the settings of Simplified 3D, then hell, I'd rather get something like this, which is much more sturdy. Breno, I have BMW 1200 GS, I have a Honda CRF 250 Rally, and I also have a 300cc scooter for every day. So yeah, as for Chinese kits, by far, so far, one of the best I've assembled, I'm quite sure. One of the easiest, clear instructions, solid build, pre-wired electronics, fused switch, decent gauge wires, solder to heat bed. So yeah, I think we can get this printing quite nicely.
Whether it will go through 300 millimeters a second, I'm quite sure it will not. I'd be surprised if I can get decent prints with anything over 75 to 90 millimeters a second. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. So yes, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very, very, very much for joining. So I want to thank Keith from Tinkers for modding. I want to thank Practical Printing. Please go check him out. Go subscribe to his channel. He's an awesome dude. He's going to do a lot of community live builds. He's doing lots of tutorials. NLTMW, never let the machines win. Thank you very much for modding tonight, man, as well. Thank you all you guys for hanging around and watch me fail and watch me recoup. And also my absolutely awesome patrons. You guys are incredible. Thank you very much. If you want to support the channel in any way, there are links in the video description for affiliates. It will not cost you anything, but the channel gets a bit of a kickback, which goes a long way. Don't really like to talk about this stuff. I don't want charity. But yeah, so thank you very guys for watching. Once again, I'll see you in the next live stream. Maybe we'll do another live build. I have a few more printers to do. So yeah, thank you very much and happy making, guys.